Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I wanted to do this video mainly to raise awareness and just to sort of let people know how obviously important your mental health is, and obviously taking care of your mental health. I have experienced like up and down kind of with my mental health quite a lot. I have quite a bit recently as well, which is why I kind of felt like it's one of those things a lot of people don't really talk about it, or you might not want to talk about certain things, particularly when it does come to mental health. But it's one of those things that you do need to reach out to people when you are struggling, whether that is, you know, specific charities, whether that is a GP, whether that is your friends, your family, you know. I've had up and down, so I'll kind of talk a little bit about my experience, things that have helped me, things that I've done in the past, things that I do still do, and kind of just have a little chat about it really. So I've struggled with my mental health probably from as early as I can remember, probably from like 2006. So obviously I would have been quite young at that point. Obviously there was a lot that happened at that point. I lost two family members quite close together that I didn't know how to feel, I didn't know how to react, and that has kind of grown with me. And I think it's something that, like, obviously anyone that goes through grief and stuff like that, obviously that can be one thing that can spiral your mental health. Obviously quite a lot of other things as well, like, you know, trying to like sort of be like certain people, or feeling like that you have to be a particular way. But yeah, I've really struggled. I reached out to Samaritans. I spoke to them for about, I think, 4 or 5 months, like back and forth in emails. You can talk to them over the phone if you prefer over the phone, but I did talk to them through email. I was in a really dark part of my life at that point, that I just needed someone to talk to that wasn't somebody that knew me, and my kind of way of dealing with it was talking to somebody in the Samaritans. And I honestly am glad that I did it, because if I didn't, I don't know whether I might still be here today or not. Like, obviously I won't go too much into depth about that kind of, you know, the sort of S word. I think most people know what I mean. I have had those kind of thoughts previously. I did reach out to the GP, and I did sort of reach out to people that I know. I am still sort of talking to people regularly that I know, just to sort of keep them updated on it. But those kind of thoughts can come into your mind, and it's one of those things of whether people actually, some people do act on those thoughts. And I think that's why mental health is such an important thing. Obviously your own physical health is important, but your mental health also plays a very, very big part in everyday life. If you're not in the right mental state or whatever, then you need to find something, or you need to get that help. And I have had to do it myself. I've had to reach out, like I said, to the GP, talking to people that I know. There are charities out there and stuff like that, and I will put a couple in the description box of this video. Obviously I'm not doing it to pressure anyone, but just so that if people are experiencing any issues with your mental health, or you are spiraling and you don't want to talk to people that you know because you don't want to be a burden or anything like that, there will be some links below in case anybody does want to go and reach out to those kind of sort of charities or those kind of things, or just read into it a little bit more. It's one of those things that I've really like had to, over the years as I've got older, I've had to kind of really sit there and think to myself, my mental health has to come first. And I've had times where I've ignored it to a point where I then start feeling like I spiral. And that's where you kind of have to pull back and be like, no, whether it's finding things that, you know, make you sort of happy and like give you enjoyment out of life, whether that's, you know, taking pictures, whether that's spending time with family, pets, whether that's, you know, gaming, like trying to find other distractions to not think about, you know, bad thoughts or spiral into anything. But really what I want to get across in this video is please, please, please focus on your mental health. Obviously it's nice to focus on other people in your life and to sort of feel like, oh well, I've got this going on, or I've got this going on, or this. No, like, put whatever is going on around you to the back. You need to make sure that your mental health is where it should be. If it's not, what are you going to do about it? Nobody can make that situation better for you. You need to make that situation better. You need to go out and get that help. Nobody's going to do it for you. No one can force you to get that help. If you don't want to get help, you don't want to. And that's the thing with anything in life, is if you don't want to get the help, nobody can push you to do it. It has to be your own choice. And sometimes you have to get to a really bad place to really sit there and be like, okay, no, I need to go out and get help. I've been in that position. I've done it to a point where I've been like, I don't need help, I don't need any help, and then I've had to be like, actually no, yes I do, this is what I need to do. And I've had to go out and do it many times. And I don't want people to feel like that they're on their own with mental health. If anyone does suffer with mental health, honestly, please talk to the people that you know, even if it's, you know, a mum, dad, auntie, friend, like anybody. Please reach out to people. Please keep telling people what's going on. People won't feel like that you're a burden. At the end of the day, it's better to talk about it. And if you feel like that you can't talk about it to anyone, honestly, the thing that I've done quite a few times is writing it down, putting it in a Word document or a piece of paper, writing it down. You don't even have to keep that piece of paper after, or that Word document. You can delete it, but in the moment, write down whatever it is that you're thinking, and you can sort of look at it as a way of lifting that kind of burden off of yourself, getting it out there and being like, okay, I've got whatever is in my head out on paper or out on a Word document. Now I can forget about it and move on. And I've done that quite often now with my own mental health, but also in terms of my own anxiety. If I'm feeling a certain way and I just want to get it out there so that I can forget about it, I can just put it out there and kind of move on from it, I will put it down on paper or I'll put it down on a Word document. So please, if anyone is struggling, please reach out to people. Honestly, there are so many people that will help you, and I don't want anyone to ever feel like that they're on their own. But that is kind of my experience and what I've kind of done. Places that I've kind of spoken to, mainly Samaritans is the main one that I've spoken to. But yeah, and I will see you in my next video.